afternoon and welcome everybody to tile 138. Do you know, I love saying that 100, but I just think, wait till we get to 200. Goodness me, where's that going to take us and what we're going to be doing then. So, okay, hope everybody's okay. Hope the weather's good where you are and we're all ready for this and we're all good to go. Just taking a deep breath and getting our equipment ready. I've got a nice cream tile today. Thought I'd go with the basics. I want to use today one of my black pens and I'm going to use a grey. So they're both 01s, but whatever you've got, and if you want to decide that you're going to do a different colour or use the same, it's entirely fine. I just think again that this particular tile is going to benefit from using two colours. I've also got my regular pencil, tortillon, and a white pastel pencil as well, just in case. Quick heads up as well, because I'm on Create and Craft on Monday, our tile swap 5 is due, but I'm not going to be able to do it at 2 o'clock. I'm going to be able to do it at 12. So if you can be with me for that, that would be lovely. It'd be great for you to join me. So otherwise, that's not a problem. You can catch up a little bit later. It's absolutely fine. So here we go then. Are we all ready? Deep breath. Are we ready for today's challenge? Now I say challenge. I do like to give you something to work on over the weekend. So let's see how this one goes, shall we? Okay, we'll be fine. It's all good. Okay, pencil. Deep breath. Just make sure you're sitting comfortably. And I'm going to go with a border and I'm going to go quite close to the edge. You see there? Quite close to the edge. And then I'm just going to come on in and just draw down, join the dots. There we go. From one to the other. Now if you find that it's a little bit tricky putting these lines in and getting them sort of straight, all I'm doing at the moment is I'm actually moving my whole hand and arm up and down. So I'm not trying to just sort of do this because that's going to automatically give me a curve because that's how our hands work. But this, by just moving it down, it means that it's just going to help it be a little straighter. Oh, Joanne, have you? Oh, it's beautiful and there's some lovely gems in there with it as well. So mine's in my bedroom on the wall. It's lovely. Oh, hey, Ree. Okay, so we've got our border. I'm going to come on in now. I'm just going to sort of mark the centre-ish. You see, just by doing a bit of a diagonal. See, one there, look. Turning it round. See, moving it up and down. One there. So I've sort of got my centre. If it's not in there, and please don't worry, it's absolutely fine. It's just sometimes nice to sort of have a bit of a guide, isn't it? So let's have a look. I'm going to go a little bit larger now. So what I want to do is within that cross, I'm going to give myself a square shape. Now if it turns out rectangle, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. There we go. All right. Well, while I'm at it with this one, that's it. I'm going to see if I've got a slightly thicker pen here. Let's have a look. So, you know when you start with the pencil case and you think, I'm just going to have a few in here and I'm just going to keep my basics. And then before you know it, you've got about 30 pens. So I'm coming in with my pen. I'm just going to colour that in. Now, again, I think if you want to do it in a different colour, fine. If you want to leave it later and do it as a gem, that's fine too. But I sort of know where I'm headed with this today. And I want a little bit of dimension, so before we start I'm going in with the black. I know that that's going to sit in the middle and dry off just nicely there. There we go. All right, so doesn't look like much, does it? But they have it when they first start. All right, back in with my regular pen. I'm going to just come on down here and follow the line and just extend it a little. About, imagine half the square again, maybe, something like that. Okay, let's turn that round and I'm going to bring it along here just a little way, nothing major. All right, and then I'm going to join those two lines together. There we go. Okay. So then if I turn it round, I'm going to do the same again. I'm just going to bring it down, just follow that line, and maybe you say about half the square again. Then I'm going to bring out a little line there. All right, and let's just join a line there. Okay. Turn it again. So again, I'm just going to work along. Now it doesn't really matter which side you start from. If you wanted to do the other side, you'll end up at the same place. Hi, Bonnie. Yeah, that time difference is it? Yeah, it's quite a one, isn't it? So I could never quite work it out. And I say I did another course recently, and that was all in America, so the times, Leslie worked them out for me. Okay, all right, so we've got this kind of shape. If I just sort of zoom out a little, you can see where the sort of shape is there. It's not taking massive amounts of space up. It's quite close to the centre a little bit. But yeah, let's go in a bit longer. Hey, Maz. Hey, Karen. Yeah, Karen, I did get your message and I've answered you in my head. I'm sorry. I did mean to answer you back. I will message you later. I do apologise. I did see it yesterday. Okay, I'm just going to come a little bit further out with that line there. Okay, Chris, I think she's a little bit of everything to me, Leslie is. John says it's like having two wives. Okay, you see again, same thing. All right, and then join it there to there. You see, so I've got these lovely sort of triangle shapes. Okay, so then I'm going to go to this next one and follow this line again. I'm just going to extend it slightly. So again, it's sort of about half of the size of that original square. Okay. And see where I did this line, I'm going to do this line again. Okay. And again. And then along and down there. Okay. Maybe, Maureen. We'll see where it goes. So again, this one, extend, turning it back. See where I've done this line, I'm going to do this line. And then I'm going to join that line to that line. All right. And then again, so following this line, extend it out. Now you notice that I'm turning my tile each time because it's sort of giving me that straight line a little bit easier. And it just means that they're all a little bit similar. They're never going to be the same. If you want an angle there, it's fine. But yeah, it sort of works better for me. Okay, so we do another. There we go. So same again, like extend. Turn it, so you've got this line there. Okay. And then extend. There we go. So I've got 3 there now, so I'm going to go to the next one. Turn it down. Turn it. See, that line goes there. And then again, you see this one, because I'm coming all the way down here, if you keep it sort of in line with your body, you tend to get a slightly straighter line. Okay, let's do another. So extend. This line's going here. And then back in. Okay. And another. Extend. See, we get the hang of this now, look. That one goes there. And then we're going to pull out. So that gives us 3. Let's have a look at 3. Okay, you see, so we've got this lovely sort of, it's almost a little bit of movement coming on, isn't it, there? So I reckon we can get another one in. So let's do another. So let's extend as before. See that line's going there. I'm going to stick within that border, and then I'm going to pull out. It's going to go slightly underneath the border there. That's fine though. Oh, it's not much. Let's go out. Let's be a rebel and go out. There we are. Okay. Next one. Same again, look. You see, that's where my measuring earlier, wasn't it? Of putting that square in the middle didn't quite work. It's close enough. It's okay. Oh, Lynn, she said T37. That's the 37th course for certified Sanntangle teachers. So it's where you can actually train to go and become a certified teacher. I'm CZT32. So I did mine a couple of years back now. But, yeah. And then of course, the time I had to go to America to do mine, but this year it's online, of course. So there we go. All right, so we've got 4 in there. Okay. Oh, so are we ready for the next bit? And I'm going to pick on one that I think I've got a bit of space. So I'm going to sort of work on this one here because I want to work on this side. And then you can see where it's going to sort of go from there. Let's have a look then. Okay. So where I've got this sort of line here, I'm going to actually create a little bit of a point. So I'm going to come this way now, you see? So I've got that. It's almost a bit like a tie. If you think about the owl, that's how the owl sort of stencil went. So let's join that one together then. There we go. It's got a little bit of a tie kind of design there. So then I'm just going to sort of bring that across, put a little mark. Okay, remember this line goes there. And then let's take that and join that one. There we go. And the same here, I'm going to just bring it across. Imagine where it's going to sort of stop, about there. So again, you see this sort of angle is going there. And then let's join that one in. And then of course, across here, just going to get a little one in there. It's going to sort of go underneath that one, isn't it? Yours might not. But mine's sort of sliding underneath there. All right, in the next one then. So here we go. Same sort of thing, look. I'm going to imagine it's sort of there, isn't it? So let's put this one in. Now I know that if you find yours a little bit awkward and you think I can't quite get the angles, then don't worry about it. They don't have to be the same. So from here to here, and again, see that angle there. You know, and remember to turn your tile so it fits you and you're not trying to be, you know, awkward with it. If you feel comfortable enough to just leave it where it is, it's fine. But no, please feel free, like move it. You see that line for me is better doing that way. Okay, and then again, doing that one in. So we've got 2 of those at the minute. So let's come to the next one. Now this one a little bit tricky because my point's right on the edge there, but that's okay because let's go a little bit further down. I'm going to sort of bring it so it looks like it's not quite on there. And straight down. There we go. All right. So then again, just sort of bring it across where you think it's going to be. And along we go. There we go. And then again. Along. And up. There we go. And up. There we are. And along there. Okay. Yeah, now please feel free to pause me and mute me, Bonnie. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes it is, see, I've not quite got my dot there, but don't matter. Sometimes it's better to watch and maybe just have a bit of a sketch out just to see where it's going. You know, and then do it. It's whatever you're comfortable with. If you do a quick follow along, sometimes it helps give you the idea, but then sit and look at it later. All right, so we'll have a look at this then. There we go. All right, so it's got a bit of movement in it. It looks like it's twisting, doesn't it? So I quite like that idea. And I'm going to sort of be playing with that a little bit in a short while. So, okay, let's have a look now. I'm going to focus back on, remember these original sort of triangle shapes that we did. Let's make it a little bit bigger there, okay. So here we go, there's the triangle there. So I'm going to imagine for a minute that this triangle sort of extended down. If I just bring it in with a pencil, you see where it sort of extends that way and it extends that way. So I've got this kind of space here. Oh, don't worry, Chris, space is good today. So because I've got this one sticking in the way, I'm just going to sort of create a little bit of a shape there, like almost like part of a triangle. But you know, it's going to go underneath that one, isn't it? You see? And then I'm going to do the same again. So you see, just following that line there. Bringing it down here. I might take it a whole space actually. You just might get 2 or 3 in there, but I'm just going to go with the 3 there. There we go. You see? So let's go a little bit. There you are. You see how that sort of worked? So let's turn it round and let's do the same again. Okay. Along here and down there. Okay. Just sometimes it's easier with that pencil just to add it. So again, let's just sort of work that. I'm going to bring that one out here. And then join that one to that. And then of course, I went all the way. Now, I'm not trying to keep them the same. So if it would have felt a little bit better, then I would have gone 4, but it just sort of works using the 3, so that's fine. Okay. So next one then, and again, feel free if you want to add the pencil in, just so you get the hang of where it's going. And again, let's put those lines in. So I'm going to do those at the same time. There we are. Turning it round, and into this one, and into this one. And there we go. Okay. And turning it round. So here we go, pencil again. Let's just follow that line down that way. Follow that line that way. There we go. And one in here. There we are. And then one in here. There we go. And again, just joining those lines together. So there's one there. And that one. And oh, that one there. Okay. So we've got this sort of unusual shape going on. I quite like that. It's very graphic, and if you're into structure and grids, then yeah, this is looking pretty good. So okay, we've got this space here now. Let's just make that a little bit larger. There we go. Okay, so let's just come on in and aura that space. So just drawing around the space I've already got into there. I'm going to do all those while I'm at it. I think I'm on the same sort of angle. There we are. Same there. And another one here. There we go. Okay, so we've filled that space in with that unusual shape. So I'm going to do the same here. One there, one there. Then let's just aura on the inside of that. You see, I'm going to the border there, and then using the border to put that final line in. Okay. Then to the next one. So here we go again. Aura that line there. Turning it round let's aura those at the same time. Do that one as well. And in we go. And up here. And down that one. Okay. So I'm just going to follow it round now, creating these unusual shapes. Just as I'm going, just following that shape around that I've created. Don't worry if your lines aren't straight, just work with what you have, it's fine. There we go. To another one. And along into this one. And then again, down there, and that one. Into this one. There we go. And this one. So, just joining those lines. It's looking quite good. It's especially, you know, if your original shape was a little bit small, then this is certainly filling in the gaps. And of course we're going to be doing something in those as well, so watch this space. I'm going to do that shape there. So don't worry if your tile's a little bit different than mine. I find that everybody's going to be the same, we're all going to be different. So that's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do here, because of course this is auraed off, so I'm going to stick within the border for this one. Okay, and there we go. So let's have a look at where we're at now. Okay, so you can see where we started the original shape, where we got this first triangle, and we just extended it down so it's like a large triangle, and we've just split it. And then any space we've got left, again, we've just sort of had a little bit of a split in there. Okay, so where does this take us? We need a little bit of definition, don't we, so we can sort of work out what bits are going to be what. So that original triangle, the very first one we started with, I'm just going to put in a little bit of a line. Okay, and then a little line either side of it. Okay, let's go a little bit larger so you can see there. All right, so there's the next one that we did. I'm going to put 3 little lines in there. 3 little lines in there. And 3 little lines in there. So you can see that's the one we started with. Okay, so then I'm going to work my way along. I'm just going to add a couple of little lines in each. Might even only get 1 in those. There we go. Done all those in the top just so we can work out where we're at. Okay, so let's have a look at where that is. I have missed an aura, yes, I'll go back and do it in a minute. Okay, so even this, even this one needs a couple of lines as well, because it's part of that original shape there. So then we come to this one. There we go. And let's just add in those lines all the way around there. While I'm here, just come on in and add that aura in. And there we go. And then again, let's add those sort of little lines in along there. Okay, and then this one here too, so that's going to have a couple. So that was our original shape. Okay, there we go. So you've got that lovely sort of little starting point there, so to speak. Okay, so our next little thing then, I'm going to sort of stick with my pen, and I'm just going to add a little bit of weight to these lines here. Okay, so whether you've got a thicker pen, you can do. So I'm going to go either side of that large one there, just a little bit of weight. Same on this one. Okay, and this one. And And same here. And here. Okay. So let's turn it to this next one. So again, looking at this first pointed one, I'm going to work either side and just add a little bit more weight to each end of those. And same here. There we go. And this one here. All right. Oh, don't forget this one. It's sneaking in there. Okay. And this one. Oh, you know, don't worry about it. You know, if you're not keeping up. We've said before, I only get so long to do the videos, so I do have to work a little bit quicker than maybe we'd all like. But the beauty of this is you can come back and watch it anytime you like. You can pause it and go back over things. So please don't fret over it if you've lost your way a little. It's fine. Because I do quite like Art Deco. It has got that sort of very strong design feature about it. I do love my Art Nouveau, which is very completely different to this, where you've got a lot of organic shapes. And I think if you look at Art Nouveau and even the Art Deco, you will see some of the original traditional tangle kind of patterns in there. So let's have a look. There you are. Okay, so we see how this is sort of starting to stand out a little bit more now. And then we've got these extra spaces all the way around. So what we're going to do with those, we're going to work with some of these spaces, but we're going to go in with a grey pen. This is where I said it's quite nice to sort of swap them around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by working in the corner ones. Okay, these are the larger pieces that we've got. So let's go in a little bit larger. Here we go. And then I'm going to just start with a dot, sort of centrally, but it doesn't matter if it's not. Just gives you a bit of an idea. And I'm going to create a swirl. You see, it's a wider swirl than we'd normally do. There we go. And I'm going to imagine that it's sort of trying to squish into that space. So it's doing its best, but it's sort of underneath. All right. And then let's add a couple of stripes in. So here we go. I'm just going to add a little bit of a stripy feature in here. You see where this is sort of, I'm going to work my way around. There we go. Now again, if you've got a thicker point on your, a different pen, that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going as well. Let's go a little bit larger there so you can see. There we go. So I'm going to add a narrow line either side of these larger stripy lines. See? I'm going to put the thicker one in first. I'm going to fill that space in. See? And then add a line either side. And the same again. See, this one, it's sort of disappearing underneath that stripy shape there. I'm still going to follow it through. Same again. Just filling in the bits as I'm going. So, some of us are doing certified Sanntangle teacher training this weekend, and some of us I'm sure are going out shopping. Maybe you've got some gardening to do. It's quite nice, isn't it? Weekends are starting to sort of feel a little bit more different than they are to the week now. So it makes a difference. And of course next week's quite a week where things are going to be opening up a bit more. It's crazy, isn't it, to think that we were well into our tangling this time last year and everything was locked down and we thought, oh, we don't know when this is going to end. We're certainly seems now that the end is inside. I think it's gonna be a while. I think there's still a way to go. But we've just all got to be, I think, that little bit more vigilant when we go out, maybe. There we go. Oh, Bonnie, I don't know, maybe then if you did it with a pencil and went all the way around, but try it quicker, try it slower. Sometimes I think if you're trying to do something and taking your time, that's where it goes a little bit amiss. But it's worth trying it, isn't it? Doing a bit of, just a little bit of practice maybe. There we go, put this one in here. There we are, little lines either side. And of course we can't, you know. I'm not going to guess where these are going to go. I'm just going to add them where I sort of think I want them to be. There we are. A little bit there. Okay. Alright, so we've got this lovely little sort of swirl going on. Oh, it's your job then as staff briefing. That's tough going. Oh, okay. See where that is? Okay. So I'm going to work on the one in the opposite corner here. Now again, it doesn't matter whether you go one corner to the next. It's fine. We're going to do all four corners. So again, just work your way around. See, it's going to follow it around there. There we go. And then again, I'm just going to add in. See, it's always a bit tricky starting the stripes on that bottom section. So see, mine sort of starts as a bit of a triangle. Now you might find it's easy to do your other stripes first and then just fill a little bit, that bottom edge last. But whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. They are more triangular in the centre anyway as they go round this swirly shape. There you go. Okay. Just filling in as I go. It's a really nice tangle, this. I'm not sure if we've actually done it as a spiral before. I know we've used it quite a lot for frames because it gives a really nice three-dimensional feel to it. But I can't recall if we've done it in a spiral. And you'd think I'd know. I did them all. But, 138 of them. So keeping track of them all now. Good job we've got them all in a folder, all in order until I drop the folder. Good job I've got them numbered on the back anyway, so at least I know where I am if I need to sort of manoeuvre them around a little. Okay. So there, it's just following it round. And this sort of filling in, it's really quite relaxing too. It's not that you're colouring in, it's just that you're filling some of that space. Here we go, see back on this top section here. There we are, and a little there. Okay, maybe a touch of one in that corner too. Alright, let's have a look at where we're at with this then. Okay, so there we go, we've got a couple of swirls, one in each sort of corner. So again, start with that dot. And then let's come on in and add in. So now, and when you're doing a swirl as well, I know it's sort of a little bit tempting to press on a little bit. Just ease off the pressure and let the pen do all the work. That's sort of the idea, just relax with it. And just go with the flow of it. The same here, if you think, oh, it's not colouring in right, then just slow down a little. Busy day in the airfield across the road today. So quite obviously flying weather. There we go. So just in little sections. Just filling. Nothing else matters. Doesn't matter about the rest of the tile or what's going on. It's just about enjoying that little bit of space there. Just filling it in as we go. And there we go, just adding that touch, wandering our way around. You know, I'm thinking, I know I didn't mention colour at the beginning of this tile, but I'm thinking, yeah, I may go ahead and add some colour in a short while. I just feel like that sort of burst in the centres wanting a little bit of attention, so maybe I will. We'll see how far we get. Alright, so just working my way around that section there. Is it sort of hiding underneath? Now, great thing, if you wanted to, you could have actually extended it into these other shapes. So this swirl could have gone on and been a little bit bigger if you wanted it to be. But I've got other plans for them, so maybe not today. There we are. Same with this one. Okay, and this one. All right, into the next one. Emmy's ready to land. Oh, really? Using the pastels? They are lovely, aren't they? Yeah. They're a nice sort of set. They're just really sort of cool colours. And just not sort of offensive at all, are they? They're just there. That's all you need from them. But, yeah, I could have brought them in and done them. That would have been nice. Mix and match the colours a little. But I thought I'd go monochrome and then maybe see. It feels like a little bit of colour might be because I know the tile we did on Wednesday was really bright, and some of the colours that you've used are great. I know, Chris, your purple and blue little number was really nice. It's really vivid. It really brought that white out, and I think I saw Pat's orange tile. That was lovely. Or orange colours at least in there. So, but of course Elaine is just, you know, blowing us all out of the park by putting tiles in her journal and having it all done on the same day. That's impressive. It's really impressive. Oh, Rose, yeah, sometimes because they're new, just sort of wobble them slightly, just be gentle with them, they'll come off. But some of them can be a little, so they ease off a little bit. Alright. We are playing with some watercolor metallics at the minute. Watch this space for those because quite nice. There we go. So this one's quite sort of heavy today in terms of colour and a little bit of weight on these, but because there's a lot of lines, it's nice to have these curves in just to sort of counterbalance. So it's a good one to look at. I know as well, this is quite a nice one to extend away from your tile. So I know that your books are arriving now, your little travel sets. I know, Pat, thank you for messaging me this morning. You got yours. It's nice to know that they're arriving. They're really nice. You could do this spiral on one of those pages. It would look cool. Of course, you could do lots of other things within the spaces, and it's yeah, really good to go. So okay, I'm going to stick with the grey pen. I'm going to change the design or the pattern or the tangle. Except for tea my hubby made today. So let's go in a little bit more. Now I've got these sort of spaces here. See this one where we came out and we sort of worked with that first triangle. What I'm going to do with this one, and see this first line that I did. I'll go a bit bigger so you can see it. Here we go. Oh. There we are. There we go. I'm just going to sort of extend it. There we go. You see, just dots and dashes. And see, I want to come in the middle there and just take that back down. And split that one up as well. Dots and dashes. There we go. And then of course I can come in the middle of this one. Now I've started at the top here because I've got more space, because as you can see, as I get a little further down, I'm running out of area to sort of work on, so that's okay. Just sort of work it until you can't anymore, and then that's fine. Of course, if you want to go even finer, you could squeeze another one in the middle of each one of those. So it might go up and let's see how that looks. It just sort of changes the look a little. There we are, just dots and dashes. Now if they're wavy, if they're straight, it really doesn't matter. Okay. Rose book 3. No, books are going to be on at the end of the month. It's just, you know, trying to sort of vary things as we're going. And being that I'm bringing a new book on 30th of May, hopefully, anyway, I'm still working on it, but hopefully I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, we're going to bring books. On Monday, I'm going to demonstrate, let me think now, I'm going to demonstrate the frames where I can, and I'm going to look at the dream catcher, and I've got the To the Moon and Back. So I'm going to try and focus on them. And it's really difficult to sort of think, what shall I focus on? Because I know demonstrations aren't very long and we do need some time. So I sort of think, well, okay, I'm going to focus on as much as I can, but not, you know, not so it gets overwhelming. So there'll definitely be demos on the dream catcher and the To the Moon and Back. And I'm going to try and get a frame in at the same time. Okay. Oh, Chris, is that right? Yeah. It's quite an achievement, isn't it? One of the books to actually create takes a lot of work. But it's lovely. I do enjoy doing it. I really do. And it's a record, isn't it, of our time in lockdown. So it's nice to put pen to paper again and review those old tiles, but yeah, there's always a little bit of a twist though, isn't there? There's always a bit something different that you might not expect in there. So yeah, I just hope I can do it justice and get it all done in time. Alright. You see, I'm just now working on these little spaces that I've got here, and this is from that original small triangle, you see. So let's just have a look at how this is working. There we go. You can see where I've just created them trials. So now it's standing out a little bit more, isn't it? So you can see those sort of shapes that we started with. Now if you feel when you redraw this tile later that it's easier to draw the shape and then tangle in it at that point, then by all means go ahead and do that if it's going to be slightly less confusing. Although I hope when you watch it back you won't be confused. You'll think, oh yeah, I get what she was on about. That would be nice. You see, I'm just coming in and just adding those inner sort of lines just to this top section here. You see, just all sort of merges. I'm going up and down. It's just sort of changing the direction, changes the way that you see. I tend to draw a longer one first, so swap and change. There we go. Okay, so here we go. There's that one. Debbie, I don't at the minute. I'm thinking of actually putting it on as a download, so let me get book 5 done and then I'll look at that for you. Okay, so looking at our space, we've got these sort of 2 little triangles left now, you see, on each side. So again, because we've got so many angles and so many straight lines, it's nice to come in and do a little bit of curved maybe with this one. So I'm going to sort of stay with that. Let's have a look at it. So we've got just this one space, actually. This one's part of this, so it's only going to be the one here. And I'm going to come on in, I'm just going to fill it with bubbles. There we are. Just sort of working my way in there. Keep them all different sizes and different shapes. There we go. Just to sort of, fill in those gaps there. And then any gaps that you think are a bit small for a bubble, then go ahead and just fill in those little bits there. Of course, we could extend this just a little bit more if you want to keep it bubbles, that's fine. But let's come on in. I'm going to put a little bit of a curved line in there. All right. And then let's just thicken that up a little. And then I'm going to put a narrow line each side. I love this one. And it was one of our tile swaps. So if you're not sure how to do it, one of the tile swap videos, it was awesome. Was it number 1? Did we do this first? I think we might have done. You notice how I'm turning the tile, so I'm getting slightly different angles for these little curves here. So it looks like they're sort of all being juggled about. And then those that are really small, don't sort of think you've got to do 3 lines. You might only get 1 on or 2. That's it. Might want to miss a few. Okay. So then here we go. The next space, you see it's literally straight underneath next to this one here. So again, let's just fill that in. Some bubbles. And of course, if you wanted to use a different colour and swap it round each time, that's absolutely fine. So I was going to stick with the monochrome pens at least, just to give it a sense of something. There we are. We go in modes, don't we, I think. Sometimes you feel like doing nothing but monochrome, and then other times you just feel like you need some colour in your life and got to get this coloured out. See, Chris, that's why you've got all those tiles, because you can just spread them out and just sort of bask in the colour. It's like having a rainbow on your desk. There we go. So again, let's just bring that curved line in. Thicker one in the middle. And there we go, in there. And just sort of rotate that line a little. And bring it out. Okay, in we go. Oh, so yeah, next month. What we're working on for next month, Christmas. My goodness me. I could never get used to doing Christmas in June. What's all that about? I suppose, if we're doing something nice at Christmas, what about, I don't know if you're into your sewing and things, what about looking at using some of the stencils and creating quilts for Christmas? Because I know they take quite a while to do. And I know I like making, ragdolls and things. So I'm seriously thinking, I want to do a ragdoll, but actually tangle on the clothes. So, but they take time, and if you're going to do it for gifts, you want to take the time, don't you, and not spoil it. So yeah, okay, quick sip of tea, I think. Okay, so here we go, just filling those little bits in there. This is just as important, I think, as drawing those original bubbles, because without filling in these sort of little gaps, you lose the shapes a little bit. Have you not, Rose? No, I do a diary every year, but it'll not be June. It won't be till November, that won't. I've got plans, I've got ideas. But we're hoping to move before I get round to that, because there's certain machinery that I want to sort of bring in to do that, and we haven't got space here. So Exciting stuff, eh? It's as if we could find somewhere to move to, trust me. Okay, let's have a look at it. Oh, Smuffy, I did do a stag and some stencils a while back. Okay, so let's have a look then. Let's get some shading in on this. And I'm going to come in first of all with my pencil, and I'm going to sort of work on these sections here, you know, that we've just done these little lines. And let's just go a little bit larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in just some pencil on the inside, see all around the shape, just on the inside there. I've even done the little sort of triangle there, because this is sort of its little party there, isn't it, where it's got this shape going. All right, so let's do that on all of them, so we can keep track of where we're adding the shade. Do all of that first, and then come on in afterwards with whatever and the tortillon. Okay. Oh, I have missed a section of bubbles, yeah. Do you know what's with me today? I'm just so excited and keen to get the colour on, I think. I better go back and do it. There we go. Let's do a quick work on that. Here we go, more bubbles. Okay, just filling it in. All right, oh, there we go. Okay, just filling in those little gaps. There we are. I'd have spotted it when I'd come to shading it. There we go. But I can always rely on you all to keep me on track there and say, oi, what are you doing? Go back and finish that. There we go. Filling in those. I like doing this one. I like doing the curves on them. And then seeing how they sort of come out once you've shaded bits and pieces. Makes all the difference. All right, here we go. And that one. There we go, all done. Okay, so back to shading. So back around that triangle there. And into this one here. There we go. And this one here. All right. So then on to swirls. Now I could go around the outside of this, but for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pencil around the actual swirl that I drew. You see? Sort of on the line, but working sort of both sides of that line, you see? It's a little bit on both sides. Don't worry if it's not so neat, we'll sort that with the tortillon. Okay, same on this one. So, you know, don't be shy with this today. We want to get some on, so let's work it round. Okay, just on those lines. Same with this one. Okay, there we go. And into this one. Okay, there we go. Just little bits. Oh, Bernadette, is that? Sorry about that. Do me a favour, can you just message me and just sort of, you know, remind me when I've done this, and I'll get you some packed. Might not get them in the post today, but I'll get them packed. Get me sent out. Okay, so we're now on to these sort of little bubbles. So I'm going to go back to adding shading just around the outside there. Same here. Okay. Same with this one. Now you notice that I've not touched that original shape that we did to start with. Don't need to worry about that just yet. Oh no, sorry Bernadette, my fault. I should have packed them right in the first place. But just message me and just to remind me, and I'll get you that done. Okay, let's have a look at where this is at then. All right, so I'm going to come in with my tortillon, and let's start where we sort of started with the pencil. I'm just going to really gentle, actually maybe not with that one. This is a thing, you know, when you don't clean your tortillons, it's like when you don't clean your brushes. That's got a little bit of pasta on. Let's just clean that off. There we are. Okay. That's better. Now the idea is we're going to just sort of work our way around and try and leave a little bit of highlight, or the, you know, keep the paper showing in the centre. All right, see, that's it. So I might as well go ahead and do this one whilst I'm at it. There we are. Okay, yeah, liking that. See how the different sort of designs are coming out now. Okay, I'm going to come back to the swirls. Let's go a little bit larger just so you can see what I'm doing there. There you go. So look, just working my way around the outside. Just sort of working my way up and down really, just to soften them off, but leaving that white highlight in the centre there. Same here. Okay. You know, let's just turn my tiles in. There we go. Alright, okay. And then same with this one. Don't worry about all those little bubbles in there. We can come back and do a little bit of work on the centre of those. Oh, sorry, in a minute. Again, next one. Just around, trying to keep that highlight. There we go. In there. Okay. And along there. As you know, the sun's come out. How fitting. There we go. And then this one. There's something really nice about using the basics, isn't there? Just getting that tortillon out and just moving that pencil just makes the difference. And this, the tile not only comes alive, it starts to look three-dimensional, and everything that you've been working on for this past hour suddenly looks worth it. You think, do you know what I've done? Before it was a complete confusion, and now not so much. Okay, so let's have a look at these swirls. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just work in a zigzag motion, because what I wanted to do is take that pencil either side of the line, but I don't want it to go all the way across. So I'm just working in small movements. You see the difference already there? So let's go a little bit larger. Here we go. So small zigzags either side of that line, but trying to keep a little bit of white in the centre there. See? There we go. A little up there. Look how three-dimensional that started to look. Ooh, I do like this one for that. So here you go, that's how it looked. And let's work our way around it with this wonderful magic little stick of paper. Who would have thought a piece of paper would bring you so much pleasure for an hour? There we go. As best we can, and keeping in with the shape at the top there. Look at that. Alright. Next one. Okay. Working it round. This is just, I just love doing this. There we go. Okay. So, what colour to go with, I think, for the main section? Now, I did use oranges and reds the other day, didn't I? So, is it maybe time to use my blues and purples? I don't know. See, this is great. It's great to have a lot of pens and pencils, but sometimes restricting yourself to a smaller box doesn't half help, because you don't have so many to choose from. So, you know, I've got 2 blues and a purple, I know that. What about the purple and the magenta? That'd be quite nice. Right, let's see where this is at first, shall we? Let's have a look. Okay, look at that. Look how different that now looks. Now, of course, we could go round here with the black pen again, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to, because I want to focus on the colour on these sections here. So here we go. Let's pull out my pencils. I'm actually going to use some pastels for this. So you can see here, look, I've got my box of 12, and I'm going to go in with, I quite like the idea of that purple, and I'm going to use that magenta colour as well. See how that works. I may bring a bit of orange in, but of course I also need my white pastel. So for that, I'm going to go with my chalky one here. Let's move them out the way for a little bit, and let's just go a little bit larger, because here we go. What I'm going to do with my little sort of ball shapes here, I'm just going to add a little highlight. You see, just in the centre bits. But if there's too much shadow on, I'm not going to do it. So I'm just doing it where the highlight is. See? Just a line across those. Okay, let's do the same with this one. Just a little line across. Just where you can get in without worrying about that shading. Same on this one. There we go. In there. And this one. Now, of course, if you'd have done this with a black pen, it's all in black, this would show up a lot more, but we're looking for subtle today with these areas. Okay, and then let's just come around and add that white. You know where we left those white spaces and that highlight? Just working around that shape. There we go. Okay, so let's do the same with this one. Just working in. There we go, adding in that. Let's do it there too. Now I'm not going to blend this, so just sort of make sure that your pastels are, you know, a little bit sharper, because you want a little bit of a sharp edge to it. You don't want to be messing about with that. Oh, no pressure. I will do my best to make it look as appealing as possible. But you know what, I've actually had real fun with this, and I know the initial drawing of it you've got to follow, and it's a little bit of a challenge because we did quite a few sections today. But I think the sense of achievement once you've done it, you know, we are on tile 138 now, so I have to challenge you a little bit. I don't want you getting bored. You think, you know, I can do this now, I'm not going to watch anymore. All right, let's have a look. Okay, a bit more. There we go. There we go. You see, just adding that little bit of white. And of course, again, you can, if you want to, you can come on back in and you can enhance some areas of that spiral with your pencil. I'm not going to go back in with pen because I'm quite keen, and I'm aware of the time. I'm quite keen to get some colour on this. There we go. So doing this on a page, a full page, and maybe adding other tangles in instead of stripes and things. It's a pretty stunning one, isn't it? So let's just bring that one out a touch more. So I'm just going back over the line just to redefine it, just in areas. I'm not doing the whole thing, just in areas. Okay, right, last but not least then, let's bring that purple in. Okay, I'm going to work from the point outwards, you see? From the point outwards, and I'm just going to flick out some colour, even in this one, you see? A bit more down the centre. Next one, flick out. A bit more down the centre, not so much at the tops. Turning it round. Flick out. Okay, bit in there. Same one again. Flick out. Okay, so I've been bit heavier at this top area. Let's just have a quick look there, you see? A bit heavier at the top than at the bottom. As it flicks, it sort of releases the pressure. So I'm going to come in with the magenta as well. Just going to add a touch over the top. You see? And then this one. And then this one sits here just over the top slightly. And then the next one. See what difference that's made. Colour, if you'd added the colour first, it might have been too much. It's okay, I'm coming in with the torch, and this one's already had a little bit of orange on. That doesn't really matter so much. All I'm going to do is just soften out. See, and just as I'm sort of stroking out the colour, the two are going to blend. There we go. All right, don't be tempted to move any of that chalk, and we'll blow that away at the end. Okay, you see the difference, just softened it off a little. A bit there. But I'm always pulling from the dark, pulling it out to that area of light. I'm not going to put any orange on, I don't think it needs it. Just softening this up, just adding these two colours together is quite nice in itself. Okay, and then same here. Oh no, I know if you've got to go, you've got to go. That's fine, guys. Catch up later. It's been a little bit longer today, but we've had a little bit more work on this one, so we're almost done. Almost done. Okay. There we go. So one more thing. I'm just going to bring the black in. And I'm just going to add some to the middle there, just purely because it's got a more sooty black than the pen. I'm not even going to blend that out. Here we go. So, okay, I mean, there's a little bit more shading we can do on that. There's a little bit more work maybe it could have. But in terms of today and for working, a good hour on our tile, I'm going to sign it and I'm going to say, yeah, happy with that one, and we've done for today. So please take up the challenge, give it a go, and just enjoy it. Try it with a few different colours, a few different bits and pieces, and have a lovely weekend. If you're out and about at the weekend, lovely, have fun. But if you're in on Monday at 12 o'clock, I'll be doing the live, as I say, a little bit earlier because I'm on the channel. I think that's 10:30 and 2:15, so I've got to move it around a bit. So yeah, tile swap number 5. Is it number 5? Yeah, my goodness me. Tile swap number 5 will be 12 o'clock on Monday. So in the meantime, have a lovely weekend and take care, and I'll speak to you soon. All right, everybody. Bye.